Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to hell. Welcome to the show. It's not hell. It's great. Great place to hang out, I swear. Welcome to Friday Fart Bags on a Friday. We're gonna build, at least start building, two fresh. These might be the last two Mobula 6 ELRSs on Earth. I bought these like months ago, and then they just kind of sat because I'm a jerk. What I did is I waited until the Mobula. See, I got inside information from Happy Model that that they were gonna say that the Mobula 6 2024 was gonna be for sale, but then they were gonna take forever to actually put it for sale. So what I did is I took that insider trading information, and I just sat on these things, and I just waited until people just couldn't stand it anymore, and the time has come. I definitely didn't just put them over there on the desk and then just like forget about them, basically. That's definitely not what happened. 3.9? Why did I not fly this battery all the way down yesterday? Yesterday was a big day at the RC Drift Car place. I flew 12 batteries and had an absolute blast. I got a little bit more camcorder footage, and did I say camcorder footage? It's a weird thing to say. Yeah, it was a blast. And at some point here, I'll do another edit with it. What happened there? Why did it go blue? I'll put some of it on, and I'll just talk over it. What do you think of that? There you go. That's better. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Of course, this is a Q&A live stream, as they all are. Ask any questions that you've got in the chat. If you're going to ask a question, type CiottiFPV, because that'll get your, that'll light up an orange, and I'll see it, and I'll read it, and we'll talk about it. We're also going to do mailbag. I got a box from TinyWhoop, which is super interesting. And I also got a box from Douglas Otwell with some reduce, reuse, recycle love. So yeah, we're going to dive into that in a minute. CiottiFPV.com is the website where you can support me a million different ways. Join my Patreon. Buy a cool t-shirt like this one from the Teespring store. Work one-on-one with me through Fiverr, or just message me and we'll schedule it. And we can do PayPal. There's a Etsy store with a bunch of fun stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of affiliate links. At this point, if you're ordering something on the internet, some content creator that you probably watch has an affiliate link. Help them out. It doesn't affect you in any way. You can still get coupons, free shipping, all the good stuff. It doesn't affect you at all, other than that you have to remember to hit their affiliate link before you check out. Every single time before you check out. So, like, if you use bookmarks, just change your bookmarks to people's affiliate links. And then when you hit the book, you don't even have to think about it. You hit your bookmark, you put somebody's affiliate code in your shopping cart, and away you go. If you don't use bookmarks like me, and you just type like AMA into the URL bar for it to auto-select Amazon, remove that suggestion. Remove your current Amazon suggestions when you type AMA, and then click my affiliate links a bunch of times. And then your browser will predict that you want to go to my affiliate link every time you type AMA. So there you go. There's a good way for content creators to get free money that doesn't really take you any work other than this one time. All the batteries are holding up fine. I'm running these lava batteries. I'm running these DogCom batteries. They're all exactly the same. There's no difference whatsoever. The run times are all exactly the same on them. The Batwing camera mount is absolutely amazing. I get an entire extra minute of runtime over the Fractal builds. And I also, it just flies better because it's so much lighter. The majority of that runtime comes from the weight savings. It also comes from less stuff blocking the thrust. But the big thing is that it just flies so much better. Like, I am able to do stuff. It's funny. I looked at a couple of flight files from like 6 months ago, and it's like night and day. It's ridiculous, man. Cole Power says, "Does Teddy recommend DogCom?" Yeah, the difference is shocking. Yes, I've gotten better as a pilot, of course, but it's also gear. Here, check this out. So this is these are two of the best drivers there, and just getting it, and then I'm able to just get it right along with them. Like some of the spots I'm able to put myself in to chase these guys are just ridiculous. So this is the 0702 rig, which is a little bit lighter. The edit that comes out tomorrow at 2 Eastern was all flown on the 0603 30,000 kV rig with the HQ YOLO tri-blades. And it's 1 point something grams heavier than this 0702 rig, and I can really tell the difference. I'm shocked that I can tell the difference, but yeah, it's there for sure. I think this is on 30,000 kV motors. Don't quote me on that. I'll look at some point. But yeah, this was an absolute blast. I was trying really hard to get in between these guys to show how close the chase car was getting to the lead car, which is like really, really, really difficult because I'm either getting hit by the chase car or hit by, like, there. See, I'm trying to show, and then I'm getting stuck in the blinds. But yeah, I was really pushing myself yesterday because I was able to get a bunch of these angles that were just bananas. So yeah, you'll see I had a couple of really good batteries, and since this is the Caddx Ant, we've got 60 frames per second. You can kind of see the very slight up and down jitter, which is there, but it's fine. Yeah, I think it looks fantastic for what it is. Bunch of garbage. I wish there was I guess it's just multipathing in this place. But yeah, I mean, I'm standing like right there. It's on 25 million watts, so it's not making. It's milliwatts, not million watts. I say that for fun, for the record, for anybody that's new. Yeah, I don't know. It's the TinyWhoop racers do stuff like pull one antenna off. I need to. Oh, is it really choppy? All right. Yeah, YouTube hates flight footage. I don't understand why. What can I do? How can I trick YouTube into not being so useless? Let me add a, no, not screen capture. What the hell is it? Video capture device, is that it? Monitor 1, monitor 2, where are you at? Monitor 1, monitor 2. Nope, that's not it. Where the hell is it? Hold on. If I put it small in the frame, image slideshow. Is it media source? How the hell do I share my monitors, OBS? Scene, media source. Siphon? No. What? Hold on. If I go over here, I can rate monitor. What are you? What the shit? What? Ah ha 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 ha! There it is. Display capture. So we want rate monitor. So if I put that up here, I can then, Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So, but what I actually want, I actually don't want right monitor. I want left monitor. And then, yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Almost there. Almost there, I promise. I don't want right monitor. I want to remove. Welcome to live streaming, my friends. Remove, and then I want to add deprecated display capture left monitor. There we go. And now I can pull this over here. Ah, shit, I'm not going to be able to see the chat, but that's okay. So we'll come down like that. There we go. All right, let me know if that's less choppy. Am I still half speed? Let's go up to full speed. There we go. Okay, so if I pull this chat here, then I can go full screen there, and then all is right with the world. Okay, cool. There we go. So I'll leave that over. Wait, no, I'll throw it up in the corner here. Throw it up in this corner. There's no good answer. There's no good way of doing this. Okay. Hockey Rounds was first in the chat. Sprout was next. Joe Filmed, Freelo Joe, Slow Cow, Wake and Bake, Crom, Douglas Otwell, Rockworth 710, David 4F, Frank Nicholas, Justin Waller, Hello World, Stavel, Walter again, Rockworth again, Paulie Shortcuts, Siskel, Cole Powers, Jay Hines, Captain Calgary, BLD, Hockey Rounds, June Loco, Raging Leak, Cole Powers, Jay Hines, Jay Deegs, Troy Prelog, Ant BBTHC, Kevin Sumner, Jeremy, Frank Nicholas, Off Axis, Cold Front and Penguin, June Loco. What's up, everybody? Is it less choppy? Not choppy now? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why when you give YouTube slightly lower quality stuff, it just completely shits its pants. Like, why? What are you doing? Ant says move to Twitch. That would be the end of my FPV career. FPV people don't really hang out on Twitch. There's no audience over there. Plenty have tried to do that, and it's been a complete waste of time. So, I mean, there's no reason that I would be able to do it when everybody else hasn't. Especially when everybody else, as in people that have much bigger followings than me and would have a much better chance. Yeah, Twitch is for video games, and that's pretty much it. Even Dr. K has he's, with Healthy Gamer, he's really gone in hard on Twitch, but his YouTube audience is much more. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his stuff is for whatever. What else is happening? This is towards the end of the day. This is like one of the last batteries, actually, I think. If you want to talk to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. Rockcrawler said, hey, CiottiFPV and all. Cole Power said, does Teddy recommend DogCom? Crom says, I have an extra set of 1003 22,000 kV motors. What size whoop/props would these perform the best on? Unfortunately, I don't know, Crom. I know that they're not great on 45 millimeter bi blades. They're a little bit better on the 45 millimeter tri blades, but they still don't seem to be that great. And that's it. I haven't run them on anything else. If I had to guess, my guess would be 2.5 inch, maybe even 3 inch bi blades. But then it depends on which bi blades. So yeah, buy a bunch of props, try them for yourself. Your idea of good performance is different than mine anyway. So, but luckily propellers are really cheap. So you can snag a bunch of different propellers for whatever rig you're thinking about building. Put them all on there, try them out, see which ones you like best. Away you go. Sprout says, how do I change the Mobula 6 2024 Canopy to the old one? I don't have a different antenna or camera. That's okay. It'll go right in there. Just buy the old Canopy and it'll have everything you need. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that's a little bit tricky is it's going to come with conical screws, and then it's going to come with button head screws. You got to look really close, but there is a difference between the screws that it comes with. The conical screws go through the camera into the little backing piece. The button head screws go through the outside of the canopy into the piece that mounts into the back of the camera. When you're taking apart the other thing to remember is that on the 2024, if this is the camera lens here and this is the backing plate of the camera, the conical screws go like this. They go from behind the camera towards the lens. The old school Mobula 2023, 2023, 2022, the screws go from the front. Again, if this is the lens, the screws go from the front into the little backing plate. There's no wrong way to do it, so you'll get it. You'll be fine. When you're taking the existing one apart, you'll see where the screws go, and there's only like one way to put it together. And then if you get confused, just look up pictures of Mobula 6s, the old school Mobula 6s, and you'll eventually find the canopy with a picture of the back of it. It's super straightforward though. Jay Hines says, for 75mm freestyle outdoors, which frame is the lightest to get durability? I don't know quite yet, but the frames are pretty cheap, so you can kind of try it for yourself, which is sort of what you want to do anyway, because everybody crashes differently. For me, I'm running it also depends on what AIO you're running. I'm running the Mobula 6 AIOs and the X12 AIO, and they only fit without modifications in the Mobula 7 V4 frame, which is a totally fine frame. The Meteor 75 Air frame is 1 gram lighter, but you have to modify the frame to get those AIOs to fit. If you're running a cross-style AIO, if you're running the Happy Model cross-style AIO, your life is going to suck because they used a USB port that's too long, so don't do that. But if you're running like the BetaFPV cross-style AIO, you can, without modifications, run the Meteor 75 Air frame. So yeah, one of those two frames. I mean, there's a bunch of other frames. They're all like $4. So when you're doing an order, put all of the 75mm frames that company sells on your order, and then run them. See which ones you like best. See which ones stand up to the crashes that you do the best rather. Hockey Round says, have you tried bumping up to 100 milliwatts at the RC Drift Car place? I have. As always, when you're standing close to your quad, that makes the situation much worse. The more power, the farther the signal is going to travel and then bounce off stuff. So whenever you're standing really close, you always want to be on the lowest power possible. Not pit mode, but like 25 milliwatts is typically what you want. So yeah, always keep that in mind. If you're getting a bunch of analog, if you're getting a bunch of garbage in your analog feed, don't try going up in power. Try going down in power. That more often than not, that's what's fixing it. When you want to go up in power is when you're getting static. This is not static. This is multipathing, right? Static is the black and white snow that you get when the quad is not powered on. So if you're getting static, that means you need to bump the power up because you're going, and if you're getting static, it means you're going farther away, right? Like it's obvious. But yeah, I'm standing right there by the window. I'm the last person standing up there. So yeah, I'm feet away from the damn thing. So this is, and plus you can just see it. Like this is what multipathing looks like. Although, there's a lot less multipathing right now. I did fly a different rig. No, this is still 60 frames. I did put the other rig up in the air at some point without the you can really see, for fuck's sake. You can really see the up and down jittering in the ceiling tiles. Check this out. When I'm crashed, look here. You probably can't see it, but it's like aliasing with the ceiling tiles. That's kind of cool. I never noticed that. But yeah, it's just jumping up and down. So that's how I know that this is the Caddx Ant Light. Kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to finding finding out if there's another camera that outputs 60 frames rather than interlacing to 30 frames. That's kind of, well, I guess they're not interlacing, but maybe they're just dropping frames. I don't know what they're doing, but the Runcam Nano 3, the NewBie Drone BI, they both only output 30 frames per second, but the Caddx Ant is outputting 60 frames. New view is more choppy. What? All right. Well, I guess you guys just can't watch. Well, let me make it smaller. Let's make it small, and that helps too because you can see my big stupid face. Frank Nicholas says, last week or two, all of your live streams have been choppy. Still have the utility to keep the hard drives awake running. Even your full stream face live stream is choppy. That's very weird. Because we have no dropped frames. Let's turn off amphetamine and see what happens. All right. So amphetamine is now turned off. Let's see if it's any better. CMYK says, what's up? Frank Douglas says, the video is so choppy, almost not watchable. CMYK says, choppy for me too. First time I've noticed. Frank says, with the stream pausing, can't see crap with the ceiling tiles. God damn it. Frank Douglas says, smaller view is not better. All views are choppy. Off Axis says it's YouTube sucking balls. Happened on my stream too. Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about it. Okay, I guess we just... I wonder if it's fast moving stuff. I wonder if when YouTube sees fast moving stuff, they just hand grenade the quality or whatever. But yeah, I guess you guys can't watch it. Whatever. All right, let me move stuff back around. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Thanks for nothing, you scum. All right, hold on. I gotta move stuff back around. All right, there we go. So what's happening here? What are we doing? Frank Nicholas says, I watch 4 to 5 live streams a week. Only yours has this issue. I don't know what to do. I've done everything exactly the same for the last 3.5 years. Yeah, I'm not a computer guy. I don't know what to do. I mean, the memory used. I've got 4 gigs of unused memory. The CPU is working hard. OBS does. Maybe I need to get another new computer. Maybe like every year I have to get a new computer. Is that like a thing? Is that like the deal? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, OBS is using up a lot of the processor, but I guess maybe I'll start unplugging. Maybe I'll just do less cameras. Maybe I'll just simplify the stream and just maybe have 2 cameras. Yeah, I don't know. That's incredibly frustrating. So I guess, yeah, I mean, let me just start unplugging cameras down here. Hold up. Where is the... All right, hold on. Where is the... So that's this. So I think that would be this, right? So that should kill the VRX. Let's see. Ah, shit. I unplugged. It's not what I meant to unplug. Fuck. Okay, that's that cable. What the hell? Let's see. So I didn't mean to unplug that. Christ, that was a hard drive that I unplugged. How about that? That would probably be the right one. Let's see. Hey, there we go. Okay. So every time I fly, I'm just gonna have to crawl under the desk and plug that back in. Okay, so that's one. Let me also unplug the. We'll just bail on the handheld camera, I guess. I use it a lot, but I would rather the stream work than not work. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's kill this as well. And all right, stream simplified. Maybe that's a little bit better. Nope, that has no effect. That's disappointing. I don't know. Yeah, OBS is just gigantic. OBS is just, it just hammers the shit out of your computer. I didn't try blowing into the cartridge. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. I give up. Kevin Sumner says, I wonder if dropping down to 720 would help. Yeah, I mean, it probably would. No, I am in 1080. At some point, I forget when, I moved up to 1080. 720 looked significantly worse. So I would hate to have to drop back down to 720, but I mean, if that's what you guys want, I'll do it, obviously, right? Like, you're the ones that have to watch this, not me. I'm just trying to check that. Yeah, it's going out in 1080. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I will drop back down to 720 old school days, and it'll just look like shit. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I would rather it look like shit than to be glitchy and pause all over the place. So I guess no stream on Sunday. Maybe Monday. I'll drop it down to 720, and we'll see if that's. I mean, I'm certain that that'll be better. So, Cole Power says, "Is it smooth on your screen before broadcast? If so, it's definitely YouTube. Yeah, it is. It always has been. OBS looks great. 0 dropped frames. So yeah, like on my side, everything looks good. OBS claims to only be using 35% of the CPU. So like on my side, everything is completely fine. But that doesn't matter, right? Like what YouTube is going to YouTube, and so I have to do whatever I need to do for it to, yeah, work on their side. So yeah, we'll keep making the stream worse until it's better. All right. Where are we at here? Freeloader dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. Frank Nicholas says, same amphetamine camera issues, new additional devices, software attached. No, I don't install. I'm terrified to install software. I never, ever install software because every single time I do, it breaks something. So I change nothing on this computer. Yeah, I mean, at some point I hooked up that second little handheld webcam, but that was like probably about a year ago. So yeah, I don't know. I guess the computer is just getting old and becoming slower. I didn't think that's how electronics worked, but here we are. Kevin Sumner says, no, you shouldn't need a new computer. June Loco says, use the old computer. The old computer was definitely worse. That's when I switched to 1080. When I spent $3,000 or whatever the hell it was for this new computer, I switched it from 720 to 1080. Kind of a kick in the balls to have to go back to 720, but I mean, whatever. Troy Pulag says, any chance you have something set different in OBS since you had to reinstall your whole operating system? No, and I actually spent a ton of time with the new computer when I went up to 1080, dialing OBS in, like weeks, and yeah, I don't change anything. So, yeah, I don't know. It's super annoying. I mean, Let me try quitting absolutely everything. I can't quit that. That has to run for the Logitech. That has to run for Canon. I guess I can quit mail, although, I mean, that doesn't really do much of anything. Let me reopen mail because I want to give some shout-outs for some new patrons, actually. Where were they? I thought I pushed them to the top. Come on. There we go. BLDO550, thank you for joining the Patreon, man. Much appreciated on the support. Welcome to the gangliest of all the gangs. Rocky Huff as well. Welcome to the gang. Just one? Okay. I thought there was one more. Maybe not. Good to go. Thanks, friends. Much love on the support. All right, let me quit out of mail. All right, there we go. Walter says, over her, okay? What's that mean? Over her, okay? I don't know what that means. Frank Nicholas says, agree, not the computer. Software or hardware changes is the issue. Yeah, I don't... Oh, I wonder if it's the HD60S. That is something that I got like 6 months ago. That's like the newest thing that's been hooked up. I wonder if it's that. I'm gonna unplug it. All right, it's unplugged. That might have been it. My CPU load just plummeted. What the hell? It doesn't even have any inputs going to it. Hold on, I'm gonna plug it back in. It's plugged back in. Nah, CPU load is still... Nope, yep, there it goes back up. What the hell? Alright. HD60S Plus is apparently a processor hog, regardless of whether you're feeding HDMI into it. Yeah, no, that's very obvious. Here, look at this. That is very, very, very obvious. Here's where it was plugged in. Here's where I unplugged it. Here's where I plugged it back in. And then here's where I unplugged it again. I mean, it's bouncing around, but I mean, that's pretty obvious there. Interesting. That thing's been plugged in for a while. I got that a while ago. But I mean, whatever. I don't care. Whatever it takes to fix it. Well, okay. So hold on. Let's try this again. I'm just gonna share this screen. Let's see. All right. So let me leave that up for a minute or two here, and see if it gets all angry again. Okay, so Offexus says, did you try blowing into the cartridge? Kevin Sumner says, promote the hand cam to bench cam and trash the glitchy bench cam. I would almost rather not have the bench cam and just use the handheld one. Because like the bench, I don't know. Can you guys see what the hell I'm doing when I have the bench cam on? Sometimes I feel like you guys can't. I don't know. The bench cam, I don't know, man. Freeledger says it made a difference on my end. Seems better. Says Hockey Rounds. Polly Shortcut says, when can we see some of that footage shot on the 2.5-inch Cine Pro? I don't know what's the 2.5-inch Cine Pro. I have an AOS 2.5 Cine. I have a QAV Cine. Those are both 2.5-inch. And then I have a Raxus build as well. Which one are you talking about? Walter says, come over here and see how it is in Holland. YouTube did the thing. Hold on. Hockey Rounds with a $2 super chat. He says, looks better now. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the support as well. Joe Filmed says, I wrote on Discord how to fix the lags. All right, let me fire Discord back up. Oh, Discord. How many times are you going to update? Lag in the video is upload problem from our side. You need to check your bandwidth and select the right packet rate or pack rate. We can check tomorrow if we want. Sounds good, dude. For example, if your internet upload speed is 2,000 megabits per second, then OBS settings for streaming audio video bitrate should not exceed 1,000. It's in here. Like I said, I spent a ton of time getting it dialed in. I believe it's in here. No, where the hell is it? It's in here somewhere. Here, output. Audio bitrate 160. Here, no. I thought it was in here somewhere. I'm sure it is in here somewhere. Whatever. I'll take a look after the stream. Thank you, Joe. Very cool of you. My internet is mind-numbingly fast. Like, that's one thing I definitely have going for me. Is that the yeah, look at this. Even while the stream is going, watch this. And I know Sage is banging away on video games upstairs. Watch this. Ready? Wow! So yeah, internet speed is never the issue. That's 607 megabits per second. So yeah, in theory, I should be able to output damn near anything, but theory and practice are two totally different things. Frank Nicholas says, seems like a hardware issue, peripherals, hubs, drives, rather than computer or software. Rockcrawler says, stream looks good right now. CMYK says, it's just whatever update OBS or the system OS did most recently always is. Yeah, that's true. You know, I did, OBS bugged me to update. Like an idiot, I updated it. And the current newest version of OBS is completely unstable. And I actually had to downgrade 3 versions back to have a version of OBS that actually wouldn't just bomb constantly. So yeah. Frank says, current video is 2 times better than video streaming in the last week or two. Interesting. It's so weird that I haven't changed anything in months. It's very weird. I guess maybe YouTube changed something and that didn't jive with the things that I changed 6 months ago. Plugging that, I don't know, whatever. Wake and Bake says, you're not glitchy anymore. Unplug it. Interesting. Ramdonko says, password is password. Frank Nicholas says, nothing has to run for Logitech. Don't believe them. Crappy Logitech software. Reincubate.com/camo. Yeah, I still have a tab opened with that. I need to find the time. Frank also says, I've had issues with Elgato Corsair USB capture devices on Mac OS. Interesting. Yeah, that made a noticeable difference, so we'll see. I will slowly start plugging things back in to see if we can get... Well, fuck it, I'll do it now. Because without the handheld cam, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, I really, really, really like having that. So this is the second Logitech cam being plugged back in. And then I'm also going to plug in the VRX real quick. All right, there we go. So everything but the HD60S is now plugged back in. And let me take a look at activity monitor. Yeah, I mean, it did spike up a little bit, but the CPU load is noticeably lower now than it had been. Damn, HD60, yeah, now it's back to normal. So I don't think those two things... And yeah, that's working. And that's working too. HD60S Plus, what's the deal? Elgato, come on, man. Fix your shit. Kevin Sumner says, OBS activates all sources regardless of whether they're showing. There's a checkbox to not do that. Oh, okay. How do I make OBS not activate sources that aren't active? I'm sure Google's got the answer for me. Restart playback. Okay, cool. I'll check that out after the stream. Thanks, friends. Wake Bake says way better, much better. We're back. Kevin Sumner says looks better now. Glitches and pauses are gone. Damn. Wow, it was the HD60S. Weird. I mean, that's fine. I only use that for HDMI in from Walksnail, for example, and I rarely do that. So yeah, whatever. I'll leave it unplugged, and then when I need it, I'll plug it in, unplug it when I'm done. I have to plug the HDMI into it anyway, so that's totally fine. Cool. YouTube did the thing again, as always. Let's try to find where I was. This is gonna glitch no matter what because the camera's dying. But I don't know. I refuse to spend any more money on Logitech webcams. CMYK says stream is solid for me now. Jeremy says I didn't even know that your transitions actually faded in or out until after you unplugged the other capture device. Yeah, I have it. I have I have them set like super subtle. No need to. There's a million different transitions that they've got, but as usual, the simpler the better. Not as usual, as with many things, the simpler the better. Sky High Charlie says, I thought there was an option in OBS to shut down camera sources when not visible. Yeah, that sounds super familiar. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Oh God. I just changed something that I didn't want to change. Farts. Hold on. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. Okay. That's good. CMYK says when you open Discord, it started getting choppy again. Really interesting. All right, not running Discord when the stream is going. I just quit Discord. Hopefully it's better. I'll do this for a minute. See if it's any better. Ramdongo says beef rant 1-up. What the hell does that mean? In Ramdongo's previous comment, he says, we've had upgraded cameras all our lives, so what did we fail as my Goggle Pro 6 cam is shit at everything except selling lies? I don't think that was for me. Crom says, the hitches are completely tied to your CPU usage. It lagged out when you started Discord. Jesus. When you loaded Discord, there was obvious hitching. What the hell? CMYK says, yup. J Deeg says, way better now, don't change anything. Walter says, it's their PC. Damon says, maybe it's Apple TM slowing down your computer because of age. I wouldn't think so. The computer is only 1.5 years old, but I don't know computer things. Kevin Sumner says, mount for the hand cam so it can get mounted where the bench cam is, magnetic or Manfrotto or something. Yeah, I've tried a lot of different setups for the bench cam mounts. Oh yeah, you're right, Frank. I need to test the outgoing speed. All right, we'll give it a second. Yeah, I've tried a whole bunch of different mount setups, and the current setup is the best that I've found. Yeah, I don't know. Frank says, see my text messages. I'll check after the live stream. Kevin Sumner said, oh no, we got that. Frank says 600 megabytes was your incoming speed, is what matters when streaming. If you don't let it show your outgoing, you need to continue to get your outgoing speed. Look, yeah, usually I was gonna say, but I thought that I was wrong, that the outgoing speed is usually the same as the incoming, but I didn't want to say something wrong. But yeah, there you go. Outgoing is actually faster than incoming. So yeah, the internet is definitely not the problem. Crom says, I joined recently and no laggy streams. Now that it's back to smooth, you'll have to show me some freestyle moves. Yeah, we're gonna fly today for sure, so you'll see plenty of freestyle moves. Jeremy says, only been watching a few weeks, saw that you did oh wait, no, we're good. I already read that one. June Logo says, try flying HD to see if it's still choppy. I mean, I don't really... Nah, we're good. We're just going to leave it unplugged. Jeremy says, Discord was fine once it loaded, but while it was loading, it was herky. Gotcha. Kevin Sumner says, do you have a bajillion tabs open on Chrome? I don't. I mean, I have a bunch opened, but Chrome does a really good job unloading, it freeing up the tabs. And it's only taking up memory, RAM, and I have tons of RAM. Yeah, like I've got 16 gigs installed, and it's only using 11. So yeah, there's plenty of free RAM. I usually keep an eye on the memory pressure. And yeah, it's I never get to the end. And plus, I can tell when I get to the end of RAM because it happens every once in a while in Premiere when I have a ton of shit going on. Yeah, the new version of Chrome does a great job making the tabs that you haven't used in a while inactive. I do need to use tab groups more though. That helps as well, apparently. Fred Nicholas says outgoing is 600, 10 times what is needed. That is definitely not the issue. Yep. Ramdongo said it's almost like I know something every once in a while. Ramdongo says, I should sort out my own life, but that's hard. It is indeed. Stingray Zay says, city just barely missed being hit by tornadoes. Stay safe, brother. Jesus. What city is that? Probably Kansas, I'm assuming. Tornado Alley. That's scary, dude. Glad you're safe. All right. So we're caught up on chat. I'm going to take the opportunity to just die. Well, no. Forgot to hit charge on the charger. Now we're charging batteries. Hold on. Let me turn the amps up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Box from TinyWhoop. Rotate it this way so you guys can't steal my address. Bag from Douglas Otwell. He has some extra material from the Gangly fans, and he made these cool little things. So yeah, if you want a cool little Gangly Gang keychain made of the really cool, sparkly Gangly fan, let me know. He sent me a whole bunch. And yeah, very, very cool. He is reusing. You know, it's not all about recycling. It's not all about reducing. You can also reuse. Reuse things, friend. Let me know if you want one. Thank you, Douglas. Very cool of you. Doug. Why did I just call you Douglas? That was weirdly formal. What on earth is this? Zot's Blue Raspberry. I'll give it to Azalea. Well, it's broken. But I'll still give it to her. And I'll let you guys know if she gives it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Beta 75X frame for the 2S experiment. This box is the beginning of 2S. So yeah, this is the 75X frame that apparently works with these batteries. And then this is the 75X V2, which also apparently works with these 2S BT 3.0 batteries. So these will be important. Hopefully one of them is nice and durable. That'd be great. And then we've got... I don't know what I was thinking ordering these. I probably won't end up using these, but a pack of BT 3.0 to balance lead adapters. For some reason, I thought that this was going to be BT 3.0 to PH 2.0. I don't know why I thought that. That was a very stupid thing to think, but whatever. Maybe these will come in handy. I doubt it, but I've got them. Hey, if you need a BT 3.0 to balance lead adapter, let me know. Smoky Dog Cujo says, what is OBS? OBS is the software that live streamers use to dump all of their cameras and audio sources into, and then we make little scenes so that we can hit the button and go to this, or we can go over to this, or we can go over to this. It's just, yeah, it's like Open Broadcast System is what OBS stands for. It's just open source broadcast software that, yeah, us live streaming donkeys use. Look at this, yo. This is really cool. So this is set up to hold the OG prop popper, which I just happen to have in the same damn color. There it is. And then you can put some propellers in here as well. Just a cool little, super simple case. Hold some props. Love it. Very excited for that. And then this is for holding some whoops. Let's see if it works with the Batwing mount. I don't actually know if it will. Let's give it a shot. So we've got two of these. Let me grab one of these and one of these. And let's see. It's set up to hold 4 of them. Batwing, will you go in there and be happy? Oh, it does indeed. Yo. Now we're talking. Ooh. Yo, this is hot little case. Ooh. Ooh, come on now. Look at that. Yo. That is really nice. Little spot in the center for, like, a module or something like that. Oh, dude. That is really cool. I'm a big fan of that. I'm impressed by that. Damn. Very cool. Nice and protected. Throw it into your bag. No worries. I dig it. Damn. Will this go on the bottom? Oh, it even goes on the bottom there. Sweet. Oh, that's nice, man. That's really, really nice. That's the 3D print. The quality of the 3D printing is fantastic on both of those. What else do we have? 3 of spades, because as the sticker says, confusion is an important part of the unboxing experience. TinyWhoop.com, as always, is just the greatest. I got a pack of these BT 2.0 180-degree leads. I throw these into all of the giveaways that get sent out. Well, the TinyWhoop giveaways that get sent out, at least. So yeah, super nice to have these. I also pulled 2 of Matty here for these fresh builds that we're going to be doing. This is the new T7000. It's pretty much the same thing as E6000, but it's black instead of clear. This is the V2, which is apparently more less hard to squeeze out of the tube. So this will be replacing. I'm actually going to do it right now. This will be replacing the current T7000. So yeah, this is the old stuff that's hard to squeeze out of the little fine applicator tip. This is the new stuff that's apparently looser. And as we all know, looser is better. Is it? Is it? BT 3.0 90-degree lead. I don't know why I only got one. I was being extra cheap, but technically I only need one initially, so I've got it. We've got some BT 3.0 batteries. These are the 300 mAh ones. I've not really looked too hard, but I've not seen 300 mAh BT 3.0 batteries like this anywhere. It's only the 450s, and the 450s are pretty heavy. So yeah, TinyWhoop.com has these little 300s, which, for what we're doing, trying to keep the weight down on these Walksnail Freestyle whoops, this is going to be an important part of that. So I love that. Yeah, and then we'll see how they fit in. Oh, right away I want to try it in the Mobula 7 V3 frame. So let's do that real quick. Because the Mobula 7 V3 frame, I've been told by multiple people that I do trust, which has bitten me in the ass before, but that it's indestructible. And so let's see. Ooh, it fits pretty good in there. It moves around a little bit, but that's easily fixable with like a quick wrap of tape around the battery. So that's awesome. I was really hoping to be able to run this frame on it. So I think I'm gonna, and I'll just snug it up a little bit. Very cool. So we've got 3 frames that we can try for this project. That's awesome. Very, very, very cool. And last but not least is the BetaFPV AIO that we're going to need for this as well. This is a wacky AIO that uses, that does not have a USB port on it. They just put this little plug header on it, and then they give you a little adapter piece for that JST plug header to go to USB. So when you need to plug in USB, you just hook this guy up, and you don't have a big USB port sticking out the bottom. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Hopefully this AIO is reliable. I'll let you know. But yeah, we'll see. This should be cool. So, all right, that's it. There's the end of the mailbag, my friends. Let me put this all back in here, and I'm gonna put the BT 3.0 lead in here as well. Might as well. And away we shall go. Actually, before that, I want to do a quick weight comparison, and I want to show you why BT 3.0 is so cool. This is gonna be, you're not gonna believe this. Yeah, you might believe it. Yes, this can go in here. BT 3.0 battery. Watch this. Versus other 300 mAh batteries. We'll do a 350. Yeah. Okay. So here's 4 other 300 mAh 2S batteries. I'm going to just do these one at a time. BT 3.0. You'll notice there's no balance lead. That's where a lot of the weight savings is. BT 3.0 300 mAh battery from TinyWhoop.com. 15 grams, pretty much right on the nose. It's 15.06, but it's 15 grams. All right. GNB 350 2S. 16.8 grams. That's actually not bad. 16.8. GNB 300. 16.3. Old school Talon 300. There's the fatness. 18.95. Call it 19 grams. And then Talon 300. Oh, look at you. 15.57, 15.6. That's pretty light. You can't get this battery anymore, though. 80C. What does the TinyWhoop say it is? It doesn't have a C rating. Might as well not have a C. No, it does. It's so small I can't read it. It's marked as 75C. So there you go. There's some weights of a couple of different 2-cell batteries. The TinyWhoop BT 3.0 300 mAh is 15 right on the nose. The lightest that I have here is 15.5. But this is pH 2.0. I would need to cut this off and put like an XT30 on it, which would add like damn near an entire gram. All 3 of these batteries that were lightweight have pH 2.0. That's gonna suck. Like, that has to get removed. The really fat battery is the one with the XT30. 18.9 grams. XT30s, like, they're light, but they're not. They're not light for TinyWhoops. They're light for like 2.5-inch rigs and up. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay. So there's some battery tech for you, my friends, that you didn't ask for, but I gave you anyway. All right. Put that in the box. The 2S experiment shall begin probably next week. I need to start fixing rigs for Rampage. Yeah, it's like 2.5 weeks away, I think. Cool. All right, we're good. A couple more stickers, as always. And, oh, another different magnet. Very cool. Low-flying aircraft. With, like, a more current picture of a TinyWhoop. I love that he throws in magnets. Put it on the back of the toolbox where I put many of them. Oh, yeah! Back of the toolbox is looking hot. All right, yo. Let me get... 661 says, did you get a way to charge those BT 3.0 batteries? I did not. I do have the adapters. I did another order, though. I did a Pyro drone order. I think I put something there. Yeah, I did. I put the little... I love these little BetaFPV battery checkers, but they're also chargers. So I just snagged one of these. I only have 2 of the batteries, so I can just use the little checker to slow charge them, which is fine. You know, for right now, I'm just kind of testing the water on it. If I fall in love with the BT 3.0 2S thing, then I'll get a proper charger for them. But yeah, for the moment, this is totally fine. God, TinyWhoop stickers are the best. Always the best. Always, always, always. All right. Let me get caught up on chat, and then we will start building these rigs. So, yeah, these are, just like we did last time, these are going to be Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop builds that we do a live auction for. In a live stream next week or the week after, I'll finish the build, and before the end of the live stream, we'll just open up an auction in the chat. You guys, yep, bid whatever you're willing to pay, and then I'll put like a time limit on it, like 15 minutes. And at the end of that, the highest bid in the chat wins. You have to PayPal me right then and there. If I don't get the PayPal by the end, I'll give you like, I don't know, 10 minutes or whatever. If that timer runs out, we go right back in and we give it to the next person. And yeah, we've done that in the past and it was super fun. And so yeah, we'll do that twice. We'll do 2 live auctions for these. I hope I don't regret. I don't have that many extra. I kind of bought these to pull the AIOs out of them. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do 1. I don't know. We'll see. I got to go through. What I really need to do is sit down with all of the 65mm rigs and see which of the AIOs are like kind of falling apart. I have a couple of AIOs that are sort of on their last legs. I know I replaced one of them, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let me scroll back up and we'll get caught up on chat and then we'll dive into these builds. The build process is the same for me to sell them to you guys or use them for myself. I'm going to just do, yeah, my build. And so, yeah, maybe I'll keep one of these. Maybe we'll sell both of them. I got to take a look. Jay Hyde says, this is a question on your building on your building freestyle moves, besides the, besides the dives and power loops that you do, what other moves do you do? I realize you can't do things with a 75mm whoop than a 3.5 inch. I don't really, I'm not like a moves kind of guy. I'm way more of a cinematic pilot than a skateboardy freestyle pilot. So I don't, you know, like on the last live stream when I was like struggling to remember like what some of the moves names were, and like I got the Immelman completely wrong. That's a perfect example of it. Like I just don't, like, I fly the camera. I don't fly like a skateboard. Like I fly like the camera, and I do movements and motions that look good on camera, rather than doing tricks that like prove that I'm a good pilot. I don't care who thinks and doesn't think that I'm a good pilot. Christ, there was on Facebook on my birthday night, actually, there was a guy that said I was a shitty pilot, and that he was like 4 months in, he's like, I'm as good of a pilot as you. I was like, cool, bro. I looked at your footage and you're a terrible pilot, but cool. You want to think that? That's great. I don't care. Like, directors see my shit and they hire me, and that's all I need. like that's all the validation that I need. That's what I'm going for. I want to do this for a living. I don't want strangers on the internet to be like, wow, he's a good pilot. So yeah, I don't have like a list of moves that I do. I just move the camera around in a way that like shows the location in a really cool, really interesting kind of way. Power loops and Matty flips are like, you have to do those. Like they're just, yeah, they're just like foundational FPV things. But yeah, I don't pay much attention to move. Most of the moves are like too busy, and there's just like too much going on. I try to just, yeah, show the location that I'm flying in a super interesting way. So yeah, sorry, I don't have like a list of things that you can do. For me, the best thing that you can possibly do is watch a lot of other people fly. For many years, for me, I watched an hour a day of other people flying back in like the heyday of FPV in like 2018, 2017, 2019, that kind of time frame. And by doing that, by watching other people, it shows you what's possible, and you pick like these little things. Like you'll see them do something really, for me at least, I'll see somebody do something really subtle, and like, ooh, I like that, and I'll rewind back 18 times and just figure out exactly how they do it. All right, big throttle blast, 90-degree, whatever. So yeah, that's my recommendation, is just watch lots of other people's flight footage, and you'll just pick little things up here and there. Ramdago says, one more thing. Do you have access to DogCom 1S batteries? I do. I've been flying 2 of them for a while. They are exactly the same as all the other folded cell 300s. I don't see any difference between any of them, which makes sense. June Logo says, have you seen the LED XT60? Pretty neat. I think what you're talking about is the one from Pyrodrone. Where the hell is it? There it is. I believe this is what you're talking about. It's cool. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, it's cool. It's a little bit big. I kind of regret having put it on here. But it is very cool. I tuck this XT60 lead up under the battery strap like that. And so it's so thick that it like sticks out. But it is really, really cool. And it's really bright too. Here, check this out. Look how bright this thing is. Yeah. And like purple is the least bright of the LEDs. And yeah. So it is very cool. And I paired it because I'm an ultra nerd with the clear XT60s. I do not recommend that you get these clear XT60s. They do not fit right. Look, you might not be able to see it, but if I plug the battery all the way, well, I guess I've plugged it in enough. For the longest time, I couldn't get the battery plugged all the way in. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, for the longest time, the XT60 plug, it wouldn't go all the way in. There would be like a gap there, but for some reason, just now it plugged in just fine. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Buy whatever you want. Don't listen to me. Make your own mistakes. Stop waiting for me to make mistakes, and then you learn from it. No, never do that. Never, never, ever, ever stop waiting for me to make mistakes. I'll always make mistakes so that you guys don't have to, in theory. Hopefully. Northern Tier says, warning, ZOTZS are potent, really sour. Oh, really? Oh, I can't wait to give it to Azalea then. Azalea thinks that that she's okay with everything sour. June Logo says, have you seen... Oh, we got that? Jeremy says, seeing those cases made me think of using an Altoids container for TinyWhoop batteries. What do you think? This is a great idea. I love reusing stuff like that. I use this is a at our it's called H Mart. It's a Japanese supermarket. In this little tin thing is these awful little Mario candies. But this is just like a really cool, perfectly sized little container, and I have a couple of these that I put stuff in. All Altoids containers are great. Yeah, I love reusing stuff like that. Altoids containers too. It's metal, so if one of those batteries goes off in there, it'll, in theory, not. I mean, the little 300 mAh TinyWhoop batteries are so small that they're not really going to shoot much, if any, fire. So I mean, they're incredibly safe. But still, putting them inside of a metal container is a great idea. Walter says, can you use it on wiring? Oh, wiring motors. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, for sure. You can use either T7000 or you can also use liquid electric tape. Liquid electric tape is very runny, though. I would actually rather use that E6000, although T7000. Although what you should actually use is E6000 because it's clear and then you can see through it. Or just use a little piece of shrink wrap. That's always an option. Ramdago says 300 mAh 2S. That's special. Yeah, pretty rare. Jake FPV says, do you see the new hand-wound motors Jesse just put on the site? What do you think? I did not. Jesus, how much? He's been putting lots of stuff up. Hand-wound. What? So we checked out the 702 1.5 millimeter motor shaft motors on 2 days ago's live stream. Oh my God, no way. Martian McFly hand-wound onesie motors. No way. Wow. Oh. Yeah, okay. So the TinyWhoop racers have been running single-stranded, I think they're called single-stranded, but basically ultra lightweight motor wires to save that extra fraction of a gram. And it looks like that's what these are. It looks like Martian McFly is making enough of them to sell them. That is insane. So there are 802. These are going to be lower KVs for racing. These are really not. Oh, there are some higher KVs, 31,500. Damn. So there's 802 22,000s. What's the difference? 12T, 11T. What? Motors work well for a heavier build packed with 0.18 millimeter red copper wire. Great for a larger freestyle build. And then these are 11T. This is the configuration. 65 per frame HD0. Fast and quite efficient. Silver-plated wire has a nice feel to that. Wow, this is wild. Down the rabbit hole we go. Different winding materials. Delta red wire versus Delta silver-plated wire. And then these down here have mixed wires. What the hell? I am out of my depth on this. I don't know anything about the wires or whatnot. Here's the link in chat. I think we're all going to be doing some reading here. Jesse's product descriptions are always loaded with great info. No motor plugs. That's a great name for these craft motors, kind of like craft beer. Damn, dude, this is nuts. What a time to be alive. Here's what my friend Martian McFly has to say about these. I've been winding various size motors for a long time now. Started winding TinyWhoop motors a few years ago to get the fastest whoop on a racetrack. Damn. After trying loads of different windings, wire types, terminations, I discovered that there's a need for better throttle feel and resolution. Jesus. Most of the stock 9N12P, this has to do with the way that the winds go around the stator poles, come out of the factory with messy WYE winding. Quickly found that just packing the motor with neater concentric windings made the throttle feel much more linear and responsive. What? Very difficult to get a fast motor that is highly efficient. Wow. All my motors are painstakingly hand wound, tightly packed with concentric turns and reassembled. Jeez. That's incredible. I'm assuming they're Whoa, yeah. Woo! Welcome to Craft Anything, my friends. Hand wound by a human being rather than a machine, and look what happens to the price. I mean, it's probably about right. I mean, that's basically twice, not quite twice as expensive. And I mean, yeah, you're paying for somebody's time, yo. It probably takes an hour to wind each set of these motors. And so $40 for an hour for somebody to custom wind it, somebody that knows what they're doing, that's a great deal. I wonder if they're all the same price. Oh, there's only the one in stock right now. Oh, no, there's a couple different ones in stock. Looks like they're all the same. They're all the same price. Wow, that's wild, yo. Damn. So there's some 802s and there's some 702s as well. The highest KV, it looks like, is 31,500. 11-turn Delta Red Wire. I call these the Red Devils. Really good motors for 65 Pro Racer. Have a really good top-end responsive throttle. You may need to decrease your motor output scale to 90% if you're on a tighter racetrack. Yeah, like I said, these are mainly for racers, but I mean, no reason that we couldn't use them for freestyle. It's just that at $80 for a set of these, if you bang up a motor and wreck a motor shaft, you're going to be pissed. Although not too pissed, because just replace the motor shaft, right? Like, the magic that you're buying with these motors is the stator, and the stators usually kind of last forever. So yeah, no reason if you bang up a motor shaft or a bell on these to get another set of these. Just get a set of that matching motor and rip the bells off and swap the bells back on. You're gonna have to deal with the little C-clips, but it's not that bad. Wow. Very, very, very cool stuff. I am kind of blown away by these. Jeez. That is cool, man. That is peak nerd right there. In such a good way. Good call, Jake FPV. Thanks for mentioning that. Hang on. All right, we're good. I just want to make sure nothing was wrong. Sky High Charlie says those are the same thing they use in both the Pavo 20 and the Pavo Pico. What do you mean by those, Sky High Charlie? What are those? Justin Waller says, I'm running that AIO on a Walksnail Meteor 85 on 2S. Bash it hard and it's held up for over a year. Very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. As a reminder, CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can support me. You can buy one of these shirts. You can join my Patreon. You can click on some affiliate links. It all helps, and I much appreciate it, my friends. 661 says, we got that. Smoking Dog Cujo says, every time I watch you live, I spend money. Sorry, dude. At some point, you'll have bought everything, and then instead of spending money, you'll just fix stuff or learn stuff. 661 says, Vifly Toothstor is 100% worth it. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'll get. I just wanted to wait and start slow in the 2S adventure. Charges BT 3.0 and regular balance lead 2S, and with adapters, it can charge two 1S LiPos per port too. If I'm totally honest, I'm going to try to wait as long as I possibly can, because I have to assume that Vifly will make a Whoop store at some point with both 1S and 2S. If they don't, I'm going to pee my pants. But yeah, there's no reason for them not to do that. I really hope that they do. Ramdogla says, Peloton is top CV, and then get that Hollywood. I'm trying, man. Metal Dirtskin says, agree, don't care about tricks. It just sucks that you have to be Mr. Flippy Floppy Freestyle Badass in order to get noticed on the social medias. Look, man, getting noticed on social media is a massive double-edged sword. Like, you would think it would be a great thing, but it comes with lots of assholes and lots of questions and lots of everything. So, yeah, in my opinion, don't chase the social media fame. It's worse than it is good, in my experience. So, yeah, you do you. Look, like, at the end of the day, make cool shit. The right people will dig it, and like that's kind of it. Just make cool shit. If nobody digs it, you'll dig it. But somebody else will dig it. And if you just keep making cool shit, like chasing the RC drift cars. You know, I realized the other day, I've been chasing these RC drift cars for over a year. At Rampage last year, I totally forgot about this. The edit that won me the wherever the hell it is, the Rippy last year, and the Torval bag and the Walksnail Dominator goggles, Fat Shark Dominator goggles. That was like an early days RC drift car video. Yeah, do the same thing over and over and over again until you get really good at it. And then the right people will find it and they'll dig it. But yeah, just do cool shit and just put it out there, and whatever happens, happens. Frank Nicholas says, are MIDI flips, I've never heard of that, MIDI flips, a pitch over and roll, or a roll and pitch over? MIDI flips? Oh, Matty. Is that a typo? Is that Matty flips? No, because Frank knows what Matty flips are. MIDI flips? I've actually never heard of that. I can't Google it because it's going to find everything MIDI, which is a piano interface. I guess it's not just piano. I guess it's just an audio interface. I've never heard of MIDI flips before, and I'm not going to be able to find it on Google or YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, it's Jesus. Project Mockingbird is in the house. What's up, homie? He says, no rush, but hit me up. I want an ultimate freestyle whoop from you. I want to Project Mockingbird for Betaflight 4.5 for Angle and Horizon lovers. To be honest, dude, it's super... Well, you can't build it anymore, though. I don't really have any to sell, per se. I'm going to do a live auction with this one, with one of these two, maybe both of them, definitely one of them. So you're more than welcome to get in on that live auction. But yeah, I don't have any more to sell. Like this AIO, I should have snagged more of this AIO before they disappeared. So yeah, I really wish I'd bought more of the damn things. Especially with the fact that I thought the Mobula 6 2024 was going to be out a month ago. Ramdonko says, oh, poop, and GNB 530 mAh A30 has been my best initial experience with 75 Pro. My little task being get 3 or 6 of the same batteries as to hover height. GNB 530, that's a pretty big battery. I might... Yeah, we'll see. I might get up that big on some of the other rigs. We'll see. I'm sticking with 450s for the time being, though. Ramdongo says, hover throttle height changes for most of my mixed batteries, and some batteries deliver close to performance. Yeah, when you go, I try to stick with the same MAH, like pick the MAH that's right and then stick with that same, because especially when you're using Throttle Expo, if you put a heavier battery in, you're going to have to use more throttle to hover and cruise, and that's going to mess up your Throttle Expo. So yeah, try to pick the battery that works the best for you, gives you the runtime that you want, the power that you want, yada yada yada, all up weight that you're looking for, and then stick with that battery, especially if you're going to use throttle scaling. Not throttle scaling, sorry, Throttle Expo. Freelojo with the Patreon link in the chat. Thank you, dude. Metal Distance says, I like the exact GNB batteries Ramdanko mentioned. Could you just run them 2S with a serial wired A30 adapter? You absolutely could. That's what I do on the tiny lifters. But 2 530 mAh batteries, that's pretty heavy. So yeah, it's way too heavy for what I'm looking to do, but you could absolutely do that. Just make sure you wire it right so that you wire them in serial rather than in parallel, because yeah, doing it one way will give you 2S, doing it the other way will give you 1S, and you don't want that. It'll be pretty obvious though. Isaac Rodriguez says, are the whoops sold? No, I haven't even begun the builds yet. So the live auction for the Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop will be next week at some point. But I need to get caught up on chat so that I can at least get started on the builds themselves. Johnny then says, how has dancing been going? Fucking awesome. It has me... So for those that haven't been paying attention, Maggie, my partner of the last 2.5 years, has been a dancer forever. She was still is an amazing belly dancer. She was in that world for many years. Our obsession with FPV, like how deep we are into FPV, she was that deep into belly dancing. And she's done all kinds of other forms of dance, but that was the one that like she fell in love with, and did for the longest period of time. And just, you know, like she took lessons from some like world-class belly dancers. And so I knew, you know, meeting her 2.5 years ago and learning about her, yeah, I knew that she was into dance. And like, look, my whole life, is this just me? Is this just me? Or if you're in a room full of people, if there's a guy in that room that knows how to dance and is a good dancer, tell me that guy's not the fucking coolest dude in the room. Just like in general, not specifically because he knows how to dance, kind of because he knows how to dance, but also like, is it just me, or like are those dudes just fucking cool as hell? Like cool personality, cool people, confident in their own body, like just somewhat in shape, like they're just the fucking coolest guy in the room, right? So like that'd be kind of dope. So I'm learning how to dance, yo. Maggie found, so from the beginning of our relationship, we've talked, like, I've always been very, like, open to, like, yes, like, I've always kind of wanted to learn how to dance. It's also driven me nuts, like, in the past, that, like, I've been in situations where, like, other people have been dancing, and, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and it's just like, wow, this is the most awkward shit ever. I sure wish I knew how to dance, but I never did anything about it. And so Maggie and I like have been keeping our eyes open for like dance lessons that aren't super expensive, that work with our schedules. And 2 months ago, a company started putting these beginner couples dance classes on at a brewery that's right around the corner. It's actually the brewery that we had our very first date at, called Slow Pour. And so, yeah, and it works with both of our schedules. It's like Sunday nights at 7, I think it is. And it's been an absolute blast. And yeah, she's learning stuff. Like most of her dance was like solo dance, like just her. So, and couples dance is a little bit different. So yeah, it's been amazing. And I'm now watching shit on YouTube and like diving into like West Coast swing and blues dance, and like it's got me working out. And because like there's a physical element of it, like doing dips and stuff like that, like you got to be strong. And so yeah, I'm having a blast, and it's cool. It's cool. I haven't had like a new thing in a while. So it's nice to have like a new thing that I can kind of focus on and obsess over from time to time. But like my favorite thing about it is like the connection, that like the fact that her and I are doing it together. That's incredible. Like, and we're both having a blast, and it's like super, super, super quality time, looking into each other's eyes, trying to read each other, learning how to like communicate non-verbally. And that's been just incredible. So yeah, do it, friends. If you have somebody in your life that's willing to, or just if you want to feel like the coolest motherfucker in the room, look it up. Dance is very popular. There's dance lessons close to you, and they're not that expensive. But just do it, yo. Just do it. If you want to do something, like, look, FPV is so much harder than dance. Like, dance is plenty hard, and there's like you can get really, really good, and you can devote your life to it, and there's professional dancers, of course, right? But like, FPV is impossible to learn, and you learned it. Like, you're here watching me. You not only learned FPV, but you got really good at FPV. So guess what? You can get stupidly good at dancing and get in shape in the process and meet cool people. And yeah, so if you have any interest, go do it. If you need to get in shape, go do it. What I've learned in life is that if I don't enjoy, so like, there have been things in my life that have gotten me into shape in like peaks and valleys. Airsoft, longboarding. I'm sure I'm missing some, but for me to get, I hate going to the gym. I hate the process of just working out. I hate just picking things up and putting them back down. I hate just walking down the same trail. The same trails are fun, but walking around the same neighborhood over and over and over again, thousands of times, right? For me to actually do something that gets me into shape, I have to actually be interested in it. And this is like version 3.0 or 4.0 or whatever it may be of that in my lifetime. And I bet you a lot of people are like that. So try it out. See if you dig it. If you dig it, it's a really cool way to get your ass in shape. And we all need more exercise. That's for sure. Thank you for asking, Johnny. Walter says, with media, you have to ignore bad response. Go out off the box. Yeah, social media is a nightmare. Frank Nicholas says, Matty, autocorrect, M-A-D-I. If Frank, if you're talking about Matty flips, it's just pitch. It's just the reverse of a power loop. That's all. It's just a front flip over an object or through a gate and then back under it. It's just the complete reverse of a power loop. Power loop, you fly under an object and then you flip back up over it or through it. Through it is more like the Ciotti loop. And then you go back under it or whatever. Matty flip is just the completely opposite. And it's M-A-T-T-Y. The name Matty flip is from, wow, I haven't thought about him in so long. I don't remember his FPV name. Was it just Matty FPV? Jesus. Matty Stunts, that's it. Matty Stunts is the pilot that popularized it way back when. It's just a front flip, that's all. But yeah, it's M-A-T-T-Y, flip. Frank says, I'm a cruiser cinematic flyer, never done any freestyle other than a power loop. Okay, yeah, so if you've done a power loop, you've done the reverse of a Matty flip. Just reverse it. The live stream on Wednesday, I spent like 10 minutes hammering Matty flips and talking about when you pick up the throttle. You'll be able to figure it out in no time if you just watch through that. Frank says, so Matty flip is a downward versus upward power loop. Pretty much, yep. It's just the complete opposite of a power loop. Ramdago says, did you follow him into the gents? Who's him? Walter says, no man, good girls now better. What? Good girls know better? What? Walter says, join the fun. That's what they... What? Walter, what are you talking about? Freelojo says, the cool part is that you had your first date with her there. Yeah, it is. And it's a fun spot. I mean, if they had these dance classes anywhere else, we'd be going because they're inexpensive, and it's a beginner couples dance class. That's exactly what we were looking for, and it's the right time. It's a time that we're both free. It was just silly that it was at Slowport. Like, what are the odds? It actually Slowport, like, their floor there sucks. So like we end up getting like caught on the floor and like tripping every once in a while. So I would actually love for it to move to a dance studio at some point, but if it moves to a dance studio, the price will probably go up. Like, they're probably not paying anything to use this brewery because they're bringing a bunch of people in that drink. So, Curtis Hayes says, it's an extrovert thing and I'm an introvert. I don't need to be cool. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I'm for sure an introvert. Like, I go out, I only really go outside like every few days. But in life, I try to push myself to do the extroverted stuff as often as I possibly can because, yeah, I mean, I'm an introvert for like 72 hours straight. If I'm gonna go outside of the house, like, yeah, I don't know. And I could also care less about being cool, but it feels good from time to time. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm typically the least cool guy in the room, so I obviously don't care too much, but I don't know. The confidence that it kind of gives you just with like just this thing that you fucking walk around with is kind of crazy. And yeah, it's also a great way to meet women. So if you're looking to do that, I highly recommend it, which I am not. But man, if you're single and you're trying to meet women, go to a fucking dance class, my friends. That's all I'll say about that. Walter says, girls like to see a guy that's not afraid of doing something out of the box. Yeah, that's true. Right. And the confidence that it gives you is women pick up on it. Off Axis says, Matty Durant, Matty Stunts. There it is. He lives near me. No way. It's Matty Golfs now with his son. That's cool. All right, good. Caught up on chat. Let's dive in and get these builds started. Another thing that we're gonna do before I forget, you guys need to remind me of this, but somebody messaged me, and I've been kind of curious about this for a while. I'm gonna be direct soldering a set of 1002s up on one of these Walksnail builds, much to my chagrin. But I've been wondering for a while if the motor, you know, on these 75 millimeter Walksnail builds, we are running bigger motors and asking, and it's a much higher all up weight. So yeah, motor plugs, when those things happen, motor plugs become potentially more of a bottleneck. And I've been wondering about it, and somebody messaged me and said, yo, you really need to direct solder the motors on those Walksnail builds. It makes a big difference with the 1002s. And I said, God damn it. Why you gotta do me like that, bro? But I'm glad that he did me like that, because that's the push that I needed to go down that road, which is an annoying road, but and like, I don't know. On one hand, I'm kind of just like, no, I'm not going to do that, because the net result is something that, like, the whole point is that we're trying to build a freestyle rig. And with a freestyle rig, if your motors are direct soldered, every time you bang up a motor, it sucks. But I guess the way that I'm trying to justify it with myself is that maybe instead of soldering up a fresh motor, you just put that motor into a bag and pop the C-clip off and swap the bell out. But yeah, I don't know. I just... I'm going to do it. Secretly, I hope that it doesn't make a massive difference. Wait, what am I doing? Well, yeah, I need to get the AIO out. Yeah, I hope that it doesn't make a massive difference, because it just sucks so bad to have direct soldered motors, as we found out, as I talk about all the time, I should say, and as we found out on the Mobula 6 2024 last live stream, when one of the motor wires broke off, because there's no real way to protect there's no great way to protect the motor wires when they're direct soldered to the AIO. But I don't know. I mean, in fairness, I did crash the living shit out of that rig, but I've crashed all of these Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoops 1,000 times more and worse, and they haven't broken wires off the plugs, because, you know, the wires are crimped to the plugs. But yeah. Hey, the motors from these are going to be available. Anybody need, what are they? 0802 25,000s? No such luck. They're 0802 19,000s. What a worthless set of motors. If anybody wants a worthless set of motors, let me know. If you've got somebody like absolutely brand new trying to fly, buy these motors and put them on a 75mm rig. They won't be that bad with the Gemfan 1610 biblades. Walter says, check this man during coffee break tomorrow. Diogenes the Cynic. It's good. What is it? Test says, I just put 802 19,000s on my Mobula 6 2024. I love it. Oh boy, if you love it with those motors, you're going to lose your mind when you put some proper motors on it. 802s are too big for a 65mm rig. 702 is the perfectly sized motor. It's going to make the rig significantly lighter. And then you're also going to be able to run higher KVs. My recommendation is to go 28,000 and above. Things start to get really interesting at 30 and 32,000 kV. If you don't need all that power, you can just motor limit it down in the PID tab. It takes 3 seconds. So yeah, do it. Look at this nonsense. This is the front of the rig here. There's the front of the camera. The USB port is in the front. What the hell, Happy Model? Why? Why are you doing this to us? What is the deal? Stop it. Don't do that. That's so dumb. I'm going to have to do all kinds of... I mean, it's easy for me, but that's the kind of thing that throws new people off that try to make their own Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop. I got this funny little piece of foam here that I always take out. Yeah, that's... Come on, man. Don't do that. I think I'm going to do the ultralight mod to these antennas on these as well. Might as well, right? We'll go all the way. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Jesus. So yeah, we'll do the ultralight mod to the antenna. That way your video quality looks like assholes. But man, it'll fly good when you can't see where you're going. You won't be able to see where you're going, but it'll fly good. Yeah, this is for sale. 802 19,000s. Isn't there a spec racing league that... No, the spec racing league is 802 25,000s, isn't it? Off Axis says, I wish they would put it on top, the USB. Well, then how would you put the camera on there? There'd be nowhere to put the camera on. There'd be no way to mount the camera, would there? Yes, it would hit the canopy. Put it on the side? No, can't put it on the side. Put it on the back? Nope, can't put it on the back. Yeah, USB has to go down. And unless you're going to run... You could run a Batwing mount, and then you can put the camera on top. But yeah, otherwise, you can't have the USB on top. All right, friends, let's get this OmniFixo out. We're going to remove this PH 2.0 and replace it with a BT 2.0 180 degree. The reason why I'm willing to direct solder, by the way, is that I want to... The RC and Power 1002s at the base of the motor here, where the motor wires love to break, and that other manufacturers have figured out all you got to do is put a tiny little piece of shrink wrap. They don't have a piece of shrink wrap there. So I'm willing to direct solder those motors because I want to put shrink wrap there. So, and to do that, I have to desolder those motor wires anyway. So I will desolder the plug-based motor wires on those RC and Power 1002s, and then I will solder on just a fresh set of 30-gauge wire to it, and then I'll do the test, and then if I'm not super impressed by the results, I'll put the leads that were on it back on it with the plugs, and I'll put the shrink wrap on there to protect the leads. So it kind of... Yeah, that's one of the only reasons I'm willing to do it, because there's a very loud part of me that goes, no, don't do it, because it's a rig that you're not going to crash and you're not going to fly hard, and it's a nightmare. So let me take a look at one of these other rigs that I've got a BT 2.0 lead on that's just the right length so that I can cut this guy to the perfect length. This is how I always kind of recommend you do it. Getting these battery leads the perfect length is really, really cool. It's really nice when they're exactly right, because then you don't have like this ugly-ass extra wire, and they're also heavy. The battery wire is pretty thick gauge, so it's pretty heavy battery wire, so you want as little of it as possible. So, although actually there's an even easier, I forgot, there's an even easier way to do it. The only problem with these 180-degree leads is that this is kind of chunky here. It's great because it gives you something to grab onto to actually unplug the batteries. Sometimes the batteries are really hard to unplug. But what you got to make sure of is that you hang this chunky part out farther than this part of the frame so that you can actually get the battery in. So basically, you need this to be able to go like that. So that's how you can size these BT 2.0s. You need the lead to be able to fold out of the way like this so that the battery can get past it. Right? The battery has to slide in like my finger. Battery has to slide in here. So this BT 2.0 lead needs to be exactly this long. This is the shortest that you want to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a total pain in the ass. So hold the BT 2.0 lead like this so that it's flat there. And then hold the wires down. And then take your AIO and take a look at where the wires are exiting from. Usually right next to the USB here. And so drop it in here. Take a quick look. Come on now. Get in there. Get in there! There we go. All right. Drop it in there like that. Take a look at where those leads go. So what I'm going to do is make sure, one more time, double check it. All right. It's sitting perfectly flat. And then grab these wires here, run them to the side. Take a look at which one is positive, which one is negative. You want to cut the one a little bit shorter. It makes it a lot cleaner, believe it or not. On BT 2.0, round is ground. So the round is white and white is ground, and that's the closer one. So actually what I'm going to do is just cut them. It has to go up into the thing too, so don't cut them exactly on where they need to be. Give it just a little bit extra. And you really just need to cut one. So kind of fold them where they need to be. Scout it out. Cut one. And then you can kind of pull it back out of there. And then cut this one the rest of the way. And again, round is ground. And the ground pad is closer, so that you want the ground one to be ever so slightly shorter. And so line this guy up and then just cut the ground one a tiny little bit shorter like that. And that will give you a set of cables that lays a little bit more flat. Just a tiny little bit of difference there. See that? Nothing crazy. Not a crazy difference. Just a little tiny bit because the pads sit right next to each other. There, you can really see it. Cool. And so now we're going to strip these and we will solder them up to the AIO. Let's get some of this other junk off of here. And we're going to make this antenna nice and light. All right, so first things first, we're going to get this PH 2.0 off. And they just surface mount solder it, which is kind of annoying. But we're going to use the through holes because we do things right around here. Surface mount soldering these is fine, but through holes are incredibly strong. Metal Artson says UWL is 802 19,000 kV. No way. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so somebody that's doing Underground Whoop League, I've got some motors for you. I'll sell them to you cheap. All right, 1 and 2. So there we go with that. Let me just go right back in while we've got some heat in there, and I'll see if I can solder wick the solder out of these through holes. Real quick, like, come on, get it up out of there. One of them's clear. See if I can get the other one real quick. The ground one is always going to be way more difficult. Come on, OmniFixo. This is what I don't like about this. Let's try to grab it with another one. Oh, you know, I've never tried grabbing it left and right like this. That's going to fix that problem right up. Shit, I can't believe I never thought to do that. That's ridiculous. All right, so let's clip off the little bit that's saturated with solder. We're going to put a little bit of flux here. All right, and now let's come back in with the solder wick and see if we can get this ground hole cleared out. Soldering iron tip is nice and flat to transfer as much heat as possible. Rolling it around a little bit. And, hey, nice. That pulled all the solder out of there. And then clip this off. There is flux inside of the solder wick. It's powder flux. But there is no such thing really as too much flux. So I like to add a little bit extra. All right. And let me just take a quick look. I got the nerd goggles on. Oh, yeah, they are perfectly clean. Cool. All right, so now we are going to hook this guy up. And so let's strip just the tiniest little bit of insulation off because it's just going through the through holes. You don't need a big chunk of stripped wire. You just need a tiny little bit. The board is pretty thin. So yeah, strip off as little as you possibly can. And then since the through holes are kind of small, you really want to make sure that the individual strands are all nice and lined up and in a nice little bundle. So take a second to just kind of spin around so that they're as small as possible so that you have a shot at getting it through the through holes. And then I'm going to strip this one as well. I like to use my fingernails to strip this from. Your fingernails will never cut the individual strands of wires in there. So they're attached to your hands. And even if you chew at them like a absolute lunatic like me, you probably still have just enough fingernail to get the job done. All right, so again, just making sure this little bundle of wires is as round and packed in as possible. I am going to strip I am going to tin these, but I'm going to tin it like as little as possible. I'm going to put as little solder on here as possible because I need them to fit through these tiny little through holes. So, yeah, let's do that real quick. Just a super light tin of these guys. Tin the tip of the soldering iron and then bring it up from below and then add a little bit of solder from the top and then get right off of there. And that second one picked up a little bit too much solder. Luckily, solder goes towards the heat. So by just hitting this again and heating it up, every time I pull the tip away, it's going to pull a little bit of solder off of there. And that's now looking pretty good. All right, I think that should work. Let's take a look. So we've got ground on the outside. Ground is round. Ground is white. We will do that one first. Let's see if it'll go through. Yeah, just barely. All right, cool. So here is one of the things that I really do like about the OmniFixo. Just the way that so with through holes, what you want to do is set it up so that you can look at the part of the through hole that you're going to be pushing the wire into. And then on the back side, so lay it down like this. Get these guys out of the way. Lay it down like this. This is the bottom of the board. This is the side that I'm going to be looking at. You can see how I'm orienting this, right? I'm back here. My eyeballs are looking in this direction. So I can see this. So I can just take the tip of the soldering iron and I can just see where I need to put it. I'm just gonna put it back here to get these hot. And so now on the front side, I can see what I'm doing. I've got the nerd goggles on as well, of course. And I can just look right at the hole and then just feed the wire right into it. And I'm gonna tin the tip of the soldering iron, bring it on in, and then we'll drop it on in there. The fact that these holes, so that's how I would do it if I already had solder in these holes or if I couldn't get these holes cleared out. But in this case, the holes are actually clear right now. So here's a really cool thing about the OmniFixo. I'll take the short one first, and I'll stuff it in there so it's actually in the hole. And now I can take the other OmniFixo and easily, you can do this with other helping hands, but it's a pain in the ass. These just stay, and now it's holding it and it's actually pushing it in there. And now what I can even do, I want these wires to go rearwards. I can even shift this in the direction that the wire is gonna go. And I mean, I can also kind of like stand this up. I don't need for it to be on its side like that anymore. But yeah, the OmniFixo is better at doing what I'm doing right now than any of the helping hands, because the regular helping hands have those little ball joint things, and they're just obnoxious. The other thing I want to do is kind of set it up so that the plug is kind of in the right spot. So yeah, we can full blown like set this thing up the way that it's going to be, and then just come in here, open up the little grabby grabbers, get this into the perfect position, and it stays exactly there. It doesn't, with the regular helping hands, you put them where you want them and then they recoil because you're having to pull against like the plastic or whatever. The OmniFixo is on these little silver ball head things, and they just stay. So yeah, now that's exactly where I want it. And the plug is looking good. So we can just now add solder to the top here, and we'll have a really clean solder joint. So let's do it. So now I can just put the soldering iron on one side of the through hole and then feed the solder in from the other. And you just want to be patient now, because you're asking the solder to travel down through there. And so you got to give it a second to spread the heat around. And that's it. Good to go. Beautiful little solder joint. Nice and flat. And now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Bring the other lead up. Feed it through. And now I did the ground is the shorter one, so I did that one first. All right. And this lead is actually a little bit too long. Relax, buddy. She's coming inside. Chill. So I'm just going to take off the tiniest little bit of this lead. There we go. That's perfect. All right. This is me being super pedantic for the record, but it is going to look good when it's done. It's going to be just right. All right, come on now. Stop, buddy. Relax. There we go. Just put a little bit more angle on this wire.
Watch out, baby.
Man, it is a little whiny dog over there.
He's waiting on his mommy to come in. You still streaming?
Yep. All right, so now we're going to run this other one up. So when I cut the lead, it flattened the top out, and now it's too small. It's too big rather to fit through the through hole. So let me just see if I can squash it down a little bit. Solder is pretty malleable. I think that did the trick. Yeah, there we go. That's good to go. Usually I would just dump a bunch of solder in these holes and away we go. But yeah, for those of you that are afraid of soldering, and I remember those days, here's another way of kind of doing it for you. And there we go. just right. Hold on. I'm actually going to do this one by hand. For whatever reason, the OmniFixo is not holding this one perfectly in there. And so if you're doing it by hand like this, just put your solder here. And then you're just going to pick the solder up with the tip of the soldering iron. So I'm pushing the wire up to get it all, to push it up as far as I can into the through hole. So then all you have to do is this. Pick the solder up on the tip of the iron, place it down, and just give it a second to, you'll feel the wire heat up. And there you go. And now when you check your work, what you want to do is look at the bottom of the joints. You want to see a little bit of solder that's penetrated through the bottom. And in both cases, we're good to go. In both cases, I can't see any individual strands of wire here on the bottom. And that's perfect. So yeah, there we go. And now you get to check if you cut the damn thing too short. Let's take a look. So we'll drop it in here, put that through there. And again, what you want is for it to fold out of the way like that. And that's perfect. See how it's out of the way of the battery? The battery can go through there. And I mean, you can even test it with a battery if you want. And yeah, see how it clears now? It doesn't get in the way. That's like the only thing you need to be careful of with these. And there it is. There's the battery all the way up in the front. That's the only thing you have to be careful of with these BetaFPV BT 2.0s is that you make them just barely long enough to get the hell out of the way. Otherwise, like, I guess you could maybe like pull it. Like everything is in the way here. There's just a bunch of stuff. So just take my word for it. Make it that long. There you go, my friends. That's how you do that. That's the only soldering you need to do on the Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop. Just that. Kind of crazy. But yeah, well, no, hold on. If you want to ultralight your antenna, you do need the soldering iron for that. So you're going to take your antenna here, and you're going to very carefully, hold on, I got a little solder ball on here. Get rid of that. You're going to very carefully cut this shrimp wrap up to the big silver thing, and then carefully, because you don't want to cut the antenna wire. And then you don't need the silver thing, so you can be kind of rough with it. We're going to be getting rid of the silver thing. And then just keep cutting, keep cutting, keep cutting. Once you get up here, you're good to go. You got it split. You can now peel it back. Okay. And come on. There we go. So you're going to peel it back like that, and then it's going to come off. This weighs a bunch. This is like 0.2, 0.3 of a gram right here. Shrink wrap is very heavy. So now you've got this. That saves a bunch of weight already, but this and this will perform no worse. To make this lightweight, we're going to remove this silver ground plane, and the antenna is not going to work as good. But typically, TinyWhoops, you're flying so close to yourself that it doesn't really matter. So at this point, you need to decide. You just saved some weight. Now you're going to save a whole bunch of weight, or you're going to leave it the hell alone, and you'll get better performance. For me, I think they perform totally fine with this ground plane removed. So we're going to do this little thing. And there's a little bead of solder up on the top here. So all you're going to do is put the soldering iron right up on the angle here and just push, and off it comes, and that's it. It transfers the heat really fast, so get that done quick. And then the last thing I like to do is put a little bit of shrink wrap here, just because there's an exposed piece of metal here where the solder was, where it was linked up to this. And so, yeah, a little teeny tiny piece of shrink wrap will strengthen that up a little bit, and keep it from like maybe jumping to something that you don't want it to jump to. And now I can turn off the soldering iron, because that is all the soldering that you actually need to do on these things. I have a really thin piece of shrink wrap here. I'll just cut a tiny little piece of it off, and we'll just slide it right over here. And yeah, just put it right on the angle there, right on the intersection there. It's also going to make this exposed part of the antenna a little bit stronger, because you're just beefing it up. And there you go. That is an ultra lightweight antenna that works totally fine. Like it works really decent, like way better than it probably should work, for being like all haphazard and shit. So did I get that hot enough? Hold on, let me hit that one more time. All right, now it's good for sure. Yeah. So yeah, now we just bolt down some motors, and on this for sale rig, I've got a fresh set, I believe they're fresh, of Weebleed 0702 32500s. Let me just make sure that they all are. I had a whole bunch of 702s all mixed in together. Okay, yeah, these are all 32,500s. With the Newbie Drone Cockroach 65 V3 frame, they come with very, very short motor screws, and you have to use them. You want to use them because they're really lightweight. This frame is a little bit heavier than the Meteor 65 airframe, but you save a bunch of weight from these little tiny screws, and you end up with something that is almost the same weight as the infinitely fragile, I do not recommend you buy it, Meteor 65 Air frame. So red dot, non-red dot, non-red dot, red dot. I am gonna build this with the hooks backwards to protect them, because I'm building it with a canopy and whatnot. If you decide to run the Batwing mount, you're gonna flip this thing around. But I'm gonna build it not for the Batwing, because this is the ultimate freestyle build, and I still do like the canopy on here, the Mobula 6 canopy. But no reason that you couldn't turn this into a Batwing mounted rig. Just make sure you get the Batwing mounted mount printed in white so that it looks good. That's important. It's important to look good, friends. Well, it's 9:15. I go get some bot grinder. I think he might still be traveling though. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is kind of pointless. You guys watching me screw motors down. I'll get this finished up, and we'll get it sold this coming week. Maybe another one. I gotta spend a little time with the fleet though, and make sure that I don't need to steal the other AIO and or Meteor 60 Runcam Nano 3. But yeah, there you go. Put these grommets back on here, drop it in. Well, here, hold on. We can get it at least looking a little bit more like a TinyWhoop in like 60 seconds. So put these back on here. And there we go. All right, put that through. And then nah, you know, I'm going to wait. I can either do I do have the little McStinky mounts in white, which will look really good on there. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do a McStinky, although I kind of want to check this Razor camera to see if it's 60 frames. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely won't do this smoke crotch gray canopy. If I do a Mobula 6 canopy, it'll be a clear one, so it looks a little bit better against the white. Although, I don't know, the black and white looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do the black and white. You know, the clear will look weird. The clear won't work with the white, come to think of it. We'll do black and white. And yeah, we're going to keep this camera. This camera is the one, man. This is the super durable, amazing. And I mean, the ultimate freestyle TinyWhoop is based around this camera and canopy. There's a chance someday that maybe the Batwing will replace this camera and canopy, but I really doubt it. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know. The Batwing is a very interesting kind of setup. You know, the main problem with the Batwing, though, from a freestyle standpoint, is the up tilt situation. One of the things I love about this canopy is that it's adjustable up tilt. So if you want to go rip around outside, you can just push this thing up into a bunch more up tilt and it'll jam outside. The Batwing, it's going to be made with different up tilts, but you got to pull it off the hooks and pull the camera out of it, and it's like a whole big thing. This is a better, like, all around kind of freestyle experience, I think, with this canopy. And there's some people that actually like having a little bit of ducked in view for TinyWhoop footage. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah. There we go. Get back in there. Come on. What are you hung up on, little guy? Get in there. Hey, there it is. Cool. That's that. Canopy's gonna go like that. Plug the antenna in. And we're almost there. I'll finish it up on my time, my friends. Put a little bend in this antenna here. We'll fly it and tune it on the live stream before I do the live auction. And yeah, that'll be cool. This will be the third, I believe, Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop that I've built and live auctioned off. There you go. That's what it'll look like. We'll finish it up next week. Thanks for hanging, friends. Let me get a little bit caught up on the chat. I will almost certainly miss a couple chat comments, though. I apologize. I'm sure I already have. Huzzah! Man, I'm hungry. I gotta get some food. I'm about to start gnawing on my own arm. All Drizzle says, for the 1219S props, do you slam them down? With all propellers, you need to push them all the way down. If you don't, they will bend the shit out of your motor shafts, and you'll just ruin your motors really quickly. So yeah, you always need to push propellers all the way down. Even with the propellers pushed all the way down, you're still going to bend motor shafts, but it's going to happen a lot more slowly than if you run them up a bunch. Ramdongo says, when CiottiFPV built an 85X, he boiled up nicely to a total FPV rage, which helped me keep the faith just for fun / hobby, as it can be emotional building and escaping death by golf club. Yeah, the 85X was one of the worst builds I've ever done. I will never build another. It's not true. I'm sure I'll build another one. Walter says, if you get the Batwing mount in front, you can choose later. CBFPV says, how much do you sell them for? It's a live auction, so whatever somebody's willing to pay. Last time they went for, I want to say like 130, maybe 140 each, which I thought it would. I thought they would go a lot higher than that, but I mean that's fair. You know, the quad itself is $100, and then the motors are 40. But hopefully somebody will buy the 0802 19,000s that came with the rig for maybe like $20. So yeah, I'll make a couple of dollars. It's more me creating content for the live streams, to be honest. And just getting the ultimate freestyle whoop in somebody's hand, right? Like, it's really cool if like somebody that you're a fan of sells something and you get to fly it. You know what I mean? Freelo just says, Bot said he's going into combat robots. How awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Ant BBTHC says, do you have any experience with the BetaFPV 85mm frame? Is it more durable than the Mob 8 frame? I have no experience with the 85mm frames other than everybody saying that they're all super fragile. Apparently, HGLRC has an 85mm frame that is durable. I've only heard one person say that though. But the BetaFPV and the Mobula 85mm motor-to-motor frames, everybody says are super fragile. So All Drizzle says, thanks, man. And that'll do it for this live stream. CiottiFPV.com if you like this kind of stuff and want to see it continue forever. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Join the Patreon. Go watch some Bot Grinder. I'll see you on Monday. No live stream Sunday. I will be enjoying the last of my birthday presents from Maggie. She's taking me to downtown Atlanta and not telling me what's going on. So yeah, that'll be super fun. Love you. Bye-bye. Oh, no, I don't have anything ready. Hold on. I'm channeling my inner the guy in the wheelchair in Breaking Bad. What's his name? I don't know what his name is. God, best fucking show of all time. Here's a little bit of flying from yesterday. Oh, here's some of the flying where I was getting all down and dirty with these two really, really, really good drivers. Bye, 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 bye. See you Monday.
Thank you.